Welcome to the Pinnacle Playbook. In today's episode, we're exploring some fascinating and impactful stories from the world of finance. First, we'll dive into the dramatic collapse of Lehman Brothers, the story of how one of the most iconic financial institutions in history fell during the 2008 crisis. What went wrong? And what lessons can we learn from its failure? In the podcast segment, we'll discuss a must-read book for anyone interested in understanding money and human behavior, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. It's packed with timeless lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness that can change the way you think about financial decisions. And finally, we'll wrap up with a look at the latest buzz in the world of cryptocurrency, including the intriguing launch of Donald Trump's new meme coin, the Trump meme coin. Is it just a gimmick, or could it be something more? So stick around for a jam-packed episode filled with insights, lessons, and a bit of fun from the finance world. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Pinnacle Playbook, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Today, I want to take you back to one of the most dramatic collapses in financial history, the fall of Barings Bank, a 233-year-old institution brought to its knees by one man, Nick Leeson. Now, imagine this. It's the 1990s, and Barings Bank, a symbol of British financial power, has an ambitious young trader stationed in Singapore. That trader is Nick Leeson. At just 28 years old, Leeson was earning millions for the bank, and on the surface, he seemed unstoppable. He was the golden boy of finance, successful, confident, and trusted. But behind the scenes, a very different story was unfolding. Leeson had made a mistake, a bad trade, and instead of reporting it, he tried to hide it. He opened a secret account, number 88,888, to conceal his losses. At first, it was a few $1 million. Then it grew to tens of millions, and then hundreds of millions. Leeson kept doubling down on risky trades, hoping for a big win to cover his losses. But the market doesn't work that way, does it? The losses mounted and the pressure intensified. Finally, in 1995, a devastating earthquake hit Kobe, Japan. The markets went haywire, and Leeson's bets spiraled out of control. The losses? $1.3 billion. Barings Bank couldn't recover. This institution, which had financed the Louisiana Purchase and survived the Napoleonic Wars, was bankrupted. And Leeson? He fled Singapore but was eventually arrested in Germany and sentenced to prison. While behind bars, he was diagnosed with cancer, adding yet another layer to this extraordinary story. So, what can we learn from this? First, transparency is non-negotiable. Leeson's actions highlight the danger of unchecked power and a lack of oversight. In any organization, accountability isn't just a policy, it's a lifeline. Second, ego and fear can be destructive forces. Leeson wasn't a villain in the traditional sense. He was a young man afraid of failure, but in trying to save his pride, he destroyed an empire. Finally, no one is above the system. If a centuries-old bank can collapse because of one individual's mistakes, it's a stark reminder that our financial systems must prioritize resilience over risk-taking. Nick Leeson's story isn't just about numbers or markets. It's about human behavior, the consequences of unchecked ambition, and the importance of ethical leadership. So, the next time you're faced with a difficult decision, whether in business or life, ask yourself, am I making this choice with integrity? Because as Leeson's story shows, the cost of cutting corners can be catastrophic.
Wow, what a story. What did you think about it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible insights. Now, let's dive into today's podcast. Our book for discussion is The Psychology of Money, Timeless Lessons on Wealth, Greed, and Happiness by Morgan Housel. Let's explore the fascinating ideas this book has to offer.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready to explore how our minds and money really mix.
I'm excited to dive in.
Today we're tackling Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. It's not your typical finance book, though, right?
No, not at all. It goes way beyond the numbers.
It gets right into the heart of how we make financial choices. Those sometimes not so smart choices.
Those ones, yeah.
Are you ready for some financial soul searching?
Absolutely. And I think one of the most fascinating things about the book is how it kind of busts this myth that you need to be some sort of math whiz to be good with money.
You don't need to be like a financial genius.
Right. It's more about understanding like the psychology behind your money decisions.
It's almost like there's this hidden psychology of money, right?
Exactly. Like these forces that are driving our decisions without us even realizing it. And Housel, he really brilliantly points out that it's our habits, not necessarily our IQ, that really determine our financial success. Knowledge is great, but if we don't actually put it into action, it's like, having that fancy sports car just sitting in the garage.
That shiny sports car just sitting there, just gathering dust.
Yep.
So it's all about taking action. I'm curious, when you think about your own financial goals, what's one small habit you've changed, or maybe you're trying to change, to get closer to where you want to be financially?
Well, one thing I've been working on is being more mindful of small recurring expenses. Like those little things, the daily lattes, the subscription services we forget about.
Yeah, those things can add up.
Oh, they add up so fast.
They're...
And that actually connects perfectly to what Housel talks about with compounding.
Yes. Compounding. It's like this almost magical force, right?
Right, it really is.
In the financial world,
Yeah.
Housel even tells the story of Warren Buffett. And he earned a mind-blowing 97% of his wealth after he turned 65. Talk about thinking long-term.
It's incredible, right? It really highlights that, real wealth building isn't about getting rich quick schemes. It's about that steady, consistent growth over time.
Patience. It's all about patience.
Patience. It's like, imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and bigger.
That's a perfect visual.
That's compounding.
Snowball effect.
Yeah, even small, regular investments can grow into significant wealth if you give them enough time.
But here's the thing. We live in a world that's constantly telling us to spend, spend, spend. It's like this never-ending cycle of wanting more, chasing the next shiny object.
Yeah.
How do we break free from that never enough mentality? I know Housel really touches on this, right?
Oh, he does. And this is a point that really resonates with me. He calls out this trap of not recognizing when we have enough. And it's often fueled by, comparing ourselves to others, greed, and this idea that just one more thing will bring us happiness.
Yeah, I've definitely fallen into that trap, keeping up with the Joneses, as they say.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so easy to get caught up in that. But I think a little introspection can go a long way. Like, think about a time when you felt pressured to spend more than you were comfortable with.
Yeah.
What was driving that? Was it really your desire?
Oh, yeah. That's such a good point. It makes me think about what Housel says about the difference between, being rich versus actually being wealthy.
Yeah, that's a really crucial distinction, isn't it?
Because those two are definitely not the same thing.
Not the same at all. Rich is often about showing off what you earn. That flashy car, designer clothes, extravagant vacations.
All about the outward appearance.
Exactly. But wealth is about the financial freedom you've built. It's about security, peace of mind, options.
So you could have a huge income, but blow it all trying to look rich.
Right. And that doesn't make you truly wealthy at all, does it?
No, not at all.
It's really about what you keep, not what you spend. True wealth is often invisible. It's in your savings, investments, your ability to weather life's storms, not in those material possessions.
It's like judging a book by its cover. You might see someone with all the outward signs of wealth, but have no idea what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. A great analogy.
And it kind of highlights how important it is to focus on building that strong foundation instead of getting caught up in appearances.
Right. It's about focusing on what truly matters.
Yeah.
Building financial security and freedom.
But of course, even with the best laid plans, we can't forget about, the role of luck.
Oh, absolutely.
And Housel actually uses Bill Gates as an example, right?
He does.
Yes, Bill Gates was brilliant, a hard worker. But he also happened to, be in one of the few high schools at the time that actually had access to a computer.
Wow. Just think about that.
That's a pretty incredible stroke of luck.
That was huge. And it reminds us that luck and risk are always at play in our lives, especially our financial lives.
Mm-hmm.
The same risky investment that could make one person a fortune could lead another to financial ruin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always about skill alone.
So how do we How do we navigate that uncertainty? How do we create a sense of security when there are all these factors like outside our control?
That's a great question.
Housel talks about the importance of, saving as a way to manage that, right?
He does. And I love how he really reframes the idea of saving in this empowering way. It's not about depriving yourself or delaying gratification.
That's not about penny pinching.
No, it's about giving yourself choices and options, creating freedom and flexibility in your life.
Yeah, because I think saving often gets a bad rap. Like it's all about, skipping the fun stuff and living like a monk or something.
Right, like you're missing out on life. But Housel really turns that idea on its head. He argues that saving is about gaining control over your time and your future. He even has this great quote. He says, the value of wealth is in its ability to give you control over your time.
Oh, I love that.
Don't you think?
So it's about having that freedom to choose how you spend your time, to pursue your passions, or even just have peace of mind knowing you've got a cushion.
A safety net, yeah.
If things get tough.
Exactly.
And that cushion, that safety net, is especially important when we consider those tail risks that Housel talks about. Tail risks, can you explain what those are?
Yeah, those are kind of scary. They're those rare, unpredictable events that can really shake things up for our lives and our finances. Think like the 2008 financial crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, okay. Those are definitely scary.
Yeah, things that nobody saw coming, but they had this huge impact on the entire world.
So how can we prepare for something like that?
Well, that's where having an emergency fund comes in, and also diversifying your investments. It's about building that resilience into your financial plan so you're not completely devastated if something unexpected happens. You've got a little bit of a buffer.
Like a safety net for your safety net.
Exactly.
So preparing, but not letting that fear kind of paralyze us.
Exactly. And that leads us to another big question that Housel explores, and it's one that I think we've all pondered at some point. Can money buy happiness?
The age-old question. What does Housel say about that?
He offers a really nuanced and balanced perspective. He argues that it's not about material possessions themselves. It's more about what that money allows you to do. The security it can bring, the experiences it can provide, the opportunities it can open up.
So it's not about buying, a fancy car just to impress the neighbors.
Right. It's about, using money to reduce stress, maybe create meaningful experiences, spend time with loved ones.
Or even maybe give back to your community.
Yeah, make a positive impact. It's about aligning your spending with what truly matters to you, your values.
It's not about the things. It's about what those things enable us to do.
Yeah. Think about a purchase that's brought you genuine happiness. Was it about the thing itself, or was it about the experience, the feeling it gave you?
That's such a great point. I'm curious to hear what you think about this. What comes to mind for you?
Well, honestly, when I think about it, the things that bring me the most happiness are those shared experiences, like a simple hike with my family or, a home-cooked meal with friends. Things that don't really cost a lot, but create those lasting memories and connections.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's not about, spending a fortune. It's about spending your money in a way that aligns with what truly matters to you. And those things, they often don't have to break the bank at all.
Yeah, it really is about those simple moments and connections.
It's true. And House's point about aligning your spending with your values, that really stuck with me. It's about being intentional with your money, making sure that it's serving your goals, not somebody else's.
Yeah, because otherwise we're just kind of on autopilot.
Yeah.
Just spending without thinking about it.
Exactly. It's so easy to fall into those patterns, those cycles of consumerism. But when you take a moment to really think about it, what brings you joy, it can change your whole perspective.
Yeah, I love that. So thinking back on everything we've unpacked from the psychology of money, what are some of the big takeaways for you? What really resonated?
One of the things that keeps coming back to me is Housel's emphasis on behavior over intelligence. It's reassuring to know that you don't have to be, a genius to be good with money.
You don't need to be a Wall Street wizard or anything.
It's more about making, consistent sound choices, even when it's tough.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's easy to get overwhelmed with all the financial advice out there.
Yeah.
But sometimes it comes down to, those simple things. resisting that impulse purchase,
Mm.
automating your savings,
Mm.
sticking to your budget.
Exactly. Those simple habits, they can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and reminding ourselves that, there's always going to be someone out there with a bigger house or a fancier car.
Always.
It's about defining success on our own terms.
Absolutely. And accepting that there are going to be ups and downs.
Mhm.
We're going to make mistakes. We're going to face setbacks.
That's life, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's about learning from those experiences and keeping moving forward.
That's where that resilience comes in,
Right.
not letting those setbacks completely throw us off track.
You got it. And having a solid foundation, both financially and emotionally, I think is crucial for navigating those challenges. Because when those unexpected things happen, and they will happen,
Oh, yeah.
we're better prepared to handle them without, completely freaking out.
Without panicking, yeah.
And I think one of the things that's so encouraging about Housel's message is that it's never too late to start.
Mm.
Even if you feel like you haven't been making the best financial decisions in the past,
Yeah, you can always change course.
you can always change course.
Exactly.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Love that.
And even when it feels like you're not moving as quickly as you'd like, every step in the right direction matters.
Every little bit adds up.
Yeah. Remember that snowball analogy? It starts small, but it just keeps building and building. So keep rolling.
I love that visual.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the psychology of money, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question. What's one concrete step you can take today to apply these principles to your own life?
Yeah. What's one small action you can take? It could be, setting up a budget finally, maybe making a small contribution to your savings account, or even just taking a few minutes to reflect on your financial goals and values.
Maybe it's calling that financial advisor you've been putting off, or researching that investment you've been curious about.
Yeah. Whatever it is, just take that first step and then keep building that momentum.
And if you're feeling inspired to dive deeper, we highly recommend checking out Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money.
It's such a great read, full of insightful stories, practical advice, and those thought-provoking questions that really get you thinking.
It's a game changer, for sure. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the psychology of money. We hope you've learned something valuable today, and more importantly, that you're feeling empowered to take control of your financial well-being.
Remember, it's not about becoming a millionaire overnight.
It's about making smart choices consistently,
Mm.
building those good habits,
Mhm.
and focusing on the things that truly matter to you.
And finding that peace of mind and freedom in your financial life.
So well said. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
See you next time.
Such a good point.
Mhm.
As we're talking about this, it strikes me that this book isn't just about, building wealth.
No, not
It's really about building a better life
Yeah.
through having a healthier relationship with money.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's
Yeah.
about understanding the psychology behind our decisions so that we can make choices that align with, what we truly value and what our goals are.
It's like Housel's giving us this roadmap to navigate not just our finances, but like our whole well-being.
Totally. He's showing us how to use money as a tool
Mm.
to create a life that we love rather than letting it control us.
And it's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Between, enjoying the present and planning for the future, between pursuing financial security, but also, living a life that's full of experiences and meaning.
Yeah. It's not in the
It's not about deprivation.
right. We can have both. We can be responsible with our money and still enjoy the journey.
That's what I love about the psychology of money.
Yeah.
It's not about guilt or feeling bad about yourself.
No.
It's about empowerment.
Absolutely. It's about taking control of your finances and making choices that align with what truly matters to you and recognizing that money isn't the end goal.
It's a tool.
It's a means to an end.
Yeah, well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the psychology of money.
It's been fun.
It's been a fascinating conversation, and we hope you've gained some valuable insights to take with you on your own financial journey.
Remember, it's all about those small steps, those consistent choices that add up over time.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
Absolutely.
And until next time, happy investing.
So, how did you like the podcast section? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We just wrapped up an exciting podcast episode where we dove deep into some fascinating discussions. Now it's time for a quick and fresh update on something that's been making waves in both the crypto and political worlds. Trump's new meme coin. Whether you're a crypto enthusiast, a politics follower, or just curious about the latest internet trends, this video is for you. Let's break down what this meme coin is, why it's trending, and what it means for the crypto space. Trump's meme coin is a cryptocurrency inspired by the former US President, Donald Trump. Like other meme coins such as Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, it started as a joke or a satirical project but has quickly gained attention. The coin often features Trump's iconic phrases, images, or even his policies as part of its branding. But is it just a joke, or is there more to it? Like most cryptocurrencies, Trump's meme coin operates on a blockchain, typically Ethereum or similar platform. It can be traded on decentralized exchanges, DEX, or even some centralized platforms. The coin's value is highly speculative, meaning it can skyrocket or crash based on market trends, social media hype, or even a single tweet from Trump himself. So there you have it, Trump's meme coin in a nutshell. Whether you see it as a joke, a political statement, or a potential investment, one thing is clear: meme coins continue to blur the lines between finance, culture, and technology. What do you think about Trump's meme coin? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.